Britain is the worst affected country in Europe. The second worst affected country in the world behind the USA. We closed our borders way too late. We were the last country in Europe to close our borders. There's schools in Spain, Italy and Ireland that have all closed until September, and yet we're not learning the lessons. We're trying to open schools as soon as possible. We're using teachers and students as pawns, sacrificing them for economic reasons, and it's wrong.
People will use the argument that parents need to get back to work, but many parents still won't be able to work because they'll have a child in another year group who still can't go back to school, and now have the added complexity of a child in a heavy sanitised school.
Our class sizes are typically bigger than most in Europe, and they're not even sending their children back. They're not returning their children to school because they're worried about their safety. So why don't we take the same precautions? There's still dissent among the scientific advisors of our country and expectations of a second peak. So why don't we just take a minute just to realise what should be safe, what isn't? Should we really be sending them back to school? It's all about the safety. If we don't want a second peak, we should take the right measures.
Boris Johnson himself said that this is one of the worst public health crises, and now he's sending children to school. Isn't that possibly one of the worst things that he could do to our generation?
When students go back to school, are there going to be any tests for underlying health issues that puts the child at further risk than they already are at? And when students and young children are used to sharing toys and being within 2 meters of each other, and then they're told to stay apart, how are they supposed to react? They won't understand that that's in place to make their safety better. And when a young child sees another child playing with a toy they want to play with, and they walk over and take the toy off them, how's the teacher meant to react? In a class full of students that can't understand why they're meant to be 2 meters apart, and the child takes it, what does the teacher react to? Do they isolate them? Do they send them home? Who has sat down and thought this through?